Hey, it's Wednesday, time for another Action Figure Adventures video here on SEO Toy Review. I just got back from JoeCon. I left Baby Skeletor at home, but my friend Tony brought a Hooded Cobra Commander along, so we had some fun with him. Sorry, Baby Skeletor. No He-Man fans at the JoeCon. Alright, today's episode is all about my JoeCon haul. Starting off right here with the G.I. Joe vs. Cobra comic book, based on the Slaughter's Marauders vs. Python Patrol theme, as well as the Certificate of Authenticity for my Python Peril Marauders to the Rescue souvenirs. Here's the 2018 G.I. Joe Con souvenir figure set. We were able to pre-order these when we registered for the con, so the very first line we stood in was to pick up our badges, pick up the con set, pick up the hat, the t-shirt, that kind of stuff. This box set contains 15 figures. I will be posting a full review on this set, so I'm not going to go into it super in-depth here, but you can see we've got the Slaughter's Marauders across the top and Python Patrol down on the bottom. We've got Footloose Spirit, his bird Freedom, a new character, Sergeant Smasher, Junkyard the Dog, Mutt, and Hardball. JoeCon couldn't lock down a deal to use Sergeant Slaughter for this year's club exclusives. It's kind of an interesting situation because Sergeant Slaughter is a person who plays a character. The character is owned by World Wrestling Entertainment. The rights to make toys of the wrestling characters is owned by Mattel right now. And this stuff is made by Hasbro. They have worked out deals in the past. It didn't happen this year. Don't know if it was because they didn't put the effort in or because they just couldn't lock it down. But even though this set is Slaughter-based, they couldn't have Slaughter as one of the characters. Here's Python Patrol Major Blood. He's missing the paint app on his mustache. They're supposedly sending us new heads. There's 3 Python Patrol Laser Vipers here. I left the helmet off one so you could see that they're missing the paint apps on their eyes. Again, they're supposed to be sending us new heads for these figures. Here's the convention set pin, 3 Python Patrol Lampreys, and 3 Python Patrol Heat Vipers. I pre-ordered a JoeCon t-shirt. It has the Slaughter's Marauders logo on it. I've got the commemorative 2018 convention hat celebrating 25 years. I pre-ordered the Slaughter's Marauders hat because I liked it more than the convention hat. But once I got this hat in hand, my buddy Nick noticed they misspelled Slaughters. They left out the H. So I ended up buying the con hat as well. Here we have the Attendee exclusive. You could only get this by going to the con. It's sort of a freebie item. Some years it's really impressive, and this year they kind of cheaped out. The last year of the con, we got a little crate with the Slaughter's Marauder logo on it, with a few weapons inside. There's a shovel. There's an axe. And 2 different guns. This is a remold of a crate that came with the Dangers at the Dock set a few years ago. We also got this special first day pin for being there to register on the very first day. The convention store also sold many exclusive toys that were based on the theme of this year's JoeCon. Slaughter's Marauders vs. Python Patrol. I got the Python Patrol Snake Armor here. This is a suit of armor that a Cobra could wear, or you could enslave a Joe inside it. But they accidentally glued the armors shut, so you can't actually put them on a guy. They don't open up, but it's fine. Most people just display them standing up like this anyway. The snake armor did include its additional hand attachments. Here's the Python Paraviper Officer. This was the parachute drop figure that they threw off the parking garage, which caused quite a bit of controversy over not every kid getting one, and some adults possibly getting more than one. I promise I bought this one at the club store. Don't hunt me down. I didn't push any kids. He comes with a parachute. It's a Paraviper figure just painted up as Python Patrol. They also sold a 2-pack of Python Paratrooper soldiers. They're a little different than the officers, and they don't have parachutes. I didn't open mine yet. I'm not positive if I'm hanging on to these guys or if I might let them go to recoup some costs from the con. That's why they're still sealed in their bag. Here's the Python Rock Viper 3-pack. These guys are mountain climber troopers. I didn't open up the weapon packages for 2 of them yet, but you can see they come with their backpacks and 2 different guns. They're pretty cool. They each have a removable helmet. Here's the Saw Viper backpack. Each Saw Viper comes with a helmet, a giant gun, a bipod, and a backpack. Here's the Renegades 3-pack. Before Sergeant Slaughter had the Slaughter's Marauders, he had the Renegades in the 1987 movie. Here are the modern versions of those characters, painted up in Slaughter Marauder colors. Somehow they took my favorite Renegade and made him my least favorite. Mercer just doesn't quite look as good as Taurus and Red Dog. Sonic Fighter Lol, Sonic Fighter Tunnel Rat, Sonic Fighter Lamprey. There were some Sky Patrol mugs left over from a previous con. They were selling these for $20 with 20 additional bingo cards inside them. You could buy them at the bingo game to raise money for Children's Hospital, and I decided to try and increase my odds of winning, so I picked up one of those mugs. I picked up a 25th anniversary Lady J and Storm Shadow figures. My friend Nick and I are planning on going to a con in New Jersey this summer where we'll get to meet the voice actors of these two characters, and I often get the voice actors to sign 25th anniversary action figures. I bought an inexpensive Ninja Force Snake Eyes action figure. I didn't realize his flag point was removed. This figure is important to me because this Snake Eyes was the second to last figure I bought from the original G.I. Joe line as a kid. And also, my friend Ryan and I are planning on doing a video about Ninja Force, so I figured it was a good prop for that. I got a Chinese cardback version of Dial Tone. I love the 86 Joes, and it's pretty cool to get the international packaging. In that same vein, my friend Nick picked up a Canadian version of Weapon Pack number 5 for me. I love how on the card art it's got the 87 Joes with weapons to the 86 figures inside. I definitely had the American version of this as a kid. I love how it gives you the English and French names for all the characters. There's my boy Beachhead. A G.I. Joe cosplay group known as The Finest were set up in the lobby, and they are always raising money for different charities. And they were selling some cool patches. This is the G.I. Joe flag point proof of purchase. Used to be able to use the cardboard versions of these to mail away for G.I. Joe toys back in the day. And I got the Ninja Force logo patch. As a special souvenir for the last JoeCon, somebody made up these 3 souvenir file cards for the people that help organize the con. Brian Savage is the main guy that runs JoeCon. So these spoof Spirit, Duke, and Quick Kick. I like that he's called Slow Kick. I picked up the file card to the Rapid Deployment Force. This was a mail-away offer where you got a Pocket Patrol molded in black with 3 characters inside. And this little card came with them. This one's not perfect. It has a little bit of creasing to it, but it's very hard to find, so I was happy to grab that. I picked up 3 sealed Starduster mini comics. These are little comics that give you some information about the mail-away character Starduster. They're not super easy to find, and I was excited to grab them. I picked up the G.I. Joe Parachute Pack. This was a mail-away vehicle, if you could call it that, from back in the day. I had one of these as a kid and always enjoyed it. Oops, I just dropped the helmet. But it's an actual working parachute and a backpack you can shove it in, and you get a little mask, and you get a helmet, too, that you can put on the guy. And we actually used this in an episode of my stop-motion animated show, Action Figure Adventures. Crazy Legs uses this exact parachute that belonged to my friend to jump out of my dorm room window.
Well, here I go. You pay attention to this, Turtle Man.
I'll be watching with my eyes wide. It's not every day you get to see a suicide.
Whatever. 1, 2, 3, Geronimo!
I got a sealed set of 8 1986 G.I. Joe party favors. I had a birthday party using this theme with the Sergeant Slaughter invitations and the General Hawk and Roadblock plates and napkins. I did not give out these party favors at my birthday, but these are pretty cool. And the low light art is really goofy looking. You remember these games in the 80s? Trying to get the little balls to all end up on those little holes. They're so hard. Picked up an awesome G.I. Joe coloring book from 1984, The New Joes, showing off Roadblock, Duke, Snake Eyes, CoverGirl, and Spirit. Snake Eyes was not a new Joe at that point. I bought a really minty-looking Globulus, the main bad guy from the 1987 movie. I still have my childhood Globulus, but he's got a lot of paint wear, and I'm actually going to be using him for an upcoming video in July. And I decided to have that one as well as a nice-looking one for that video. He's such a weird figure, not having legs and having this not quite bendy enough bendy tail. That movie is so bizarre. Wow. JoeCon has a thing called Let's Make a Deal tables. And basically the club puts out a bunch of stuff, maybe missing pieces or broken stuff that they're trying to sell, and you basically name your price and you can get cool stuff. And this is the gold neck variant, or yellow neck variant Serpentor. His torso is cracked, unfortunately. But this is a pretty hard figure to find. He's also missing his top 2 fangs here. He's a very hard figure to find, this variation. And so I scored this one. I got to change his rubber band out. But then he can be my yellow neck Serpentor for now, till I find an actual good one. But thought that was pretty sweet. I picked up a helmet to Comic Pack Steeler. This is from those O-ring style comic packs from the early 2000s. I never got this particular pack, but I did buy a Steeler somewhere, but I didn't have his helmet, so I'm glad to grab that. I was walking down the main hallway outside the vendor area, and I just kind of was peeking into a guy's box as I walked by to see what he bought, but it turns out he was selling stuff. He wasn't an official vendor. So I kind of got involved in some shifty deals in the hallway. The guy told me these 1997 Joe packs were complete, and they were taken straight out of the package and put into the baggies because the packaging had come apart, which is very common with those 97 packs. And I didn't have a lot of time. I couldn't really pull stuff out of the bag because we were just in a hallway. So I bought 3 sets from him, but they weren't really complete. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I did get them at a good price, so I can't complain too much. I did know that Destro's rubber band was broken. That's an easy replace. But the launcher that shoots these discs did not come with him. Baroness is complete with her blaster, and Cobra Commander is complete with his. This is one of the worst Cobra Commanders ever. They wanted this pack to include the original Battle Helmet Cobra Commander in a dark blue like this, but when they went to, I guess, pick out the molds or whatever, they couldn't find that mold anymore, so they switched to the Battle Armor Cobra Commander, but used the same paint scheme. It's a little strange. This pack of Snow Troopers is the same deal. It's another 97 set that I got from the same guy. Snow Job here is missing one of his skis, so that's very unfortunate. Iceberg's got his gun, and Blizzard, for whatever reason they named this guy Blizzard. This is really a Frostbite figure. He's got his 2 guns. They're very bad at holding their weapons. And here's the Covert Mission set from those 3 packs from 1997. I always thought this was the coolest of these 3 sets. I didn't get it as a kid. I bought the Stars and Stripes Forever set from that year and was really disappointed with almost every figure except for like Snake Eye Stalker and Scarlet from that set. And so I didn't buy any of the other 97 Joes. Now I own most of them, and they're still just as underwhelming as they were back then. But this paint scheme on Storm Shadow is kind of cool. He comes with all his weapons. Unfortunately, his backpack was broken, so I might glue this on. It won't hinge like it's supposed to, but the plastic is probably kind of brittle because these guys were just a little bit cheap. But I do think the spot pattern's kind of cool, and it's neat that he has his original accessories with the knives, the swords, the bow, and the nunchuck. Snake Eyes here. It's a pretty good rendition. I like the Stars and Stripes Forever one a little bit better, but this one's pretty good runner-up. He comes with a Baroness gun, he comes with a Storm Shadow sword, and he was supposed to have an Uzi, but that was missing. He's got a big backpack there. And then the last figure from that set is Lady J. I always call this the Night Force Lady J. I actually just bought this figure loose at Trader PX meetup I was at a few months ago, if you check out that video. But now I have her accessories, and so she's a pretty cool figure all the way around. And let's wrap this one up with a bang. I picked up the vintage Python Patrol Conquest. Figured it was a fitting piece to grab at this show since the theme was Python Patrol versus Slaughter's Marauders. I never had this plane. I had the original version, the gray version, the Joe version as a kid, and loved it. And a good friend of mine, Britt, growing up, had this Python Patrol when we played with it a lot. But I hadn't bought it yet, and then I watched Hooded Cobra Commander 788's review of it, and it made me really kind of want one. And then I saw one at the show, so that was kind of my big vintage purchase. Let me know in the comments down below what you think my best pickup was from the show. Thanks for watching this Action Figure Ventures video. Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.